All right, welcome. We are kicking off a brand new series here, and we're diving deep into the world of modern language models. We're going to explore their incredible power, but also their profound fragility. We're getting right to the heart of what makes this technology so transformative and, honestly, so challenging.
Okay, so before we really get going, we've got to cover the standard disclaimer. This is Module 1 of a 10-part tutorial, and it's based on a really comprehensive report by Virtualization Options LLC. Now, everything we talk about here is for general guidance. It is absolutely not legal or financial advice. So as always, we highly recommend you chat with your own financial, technical, and legal professionals before you take any action. It's also worth remembering that these modules, well, they only scratch the surface of what's in the full research report.
All right, with that out of the way, let's jump into the big question. The one that really drives this entire field. How can a machine possibly understand, generate, and even manipulate human language? It feels like magic, right? But as you're about to see, it's not magic. It's all about statistics and a whole lot of scale.
And make no mistake, we are right in the middle of an AI language revolution. And for good reason. And for anyone in the IT world, understanding these core concepts, it's not just a nice to have anymore. It is absolutely essential if you're going to build the next generation of reliable tech.
So what is a language model really? If you strip away all the sci-fi hype, what you've got is a statistical engine. Its entire job, its one single, seemingly simple job is to predict the next word, or token as it's called, in any given sequence. But here's the crazy part. When a model gets really, really good at that one simple task, these incredibly complex abilities just start to appear.
And I'm sure you've heard of the heavy hitters in this space, right? We're talking about large language models, or LLMs for short. You see the names everywhere. OpenAI's GPT series, Meta's Llama, Google's Gemini. These things have jumped right out of the research labs and into mainstream headlines. They're the current state of the art. Okay, so how does this stuff actually work? Let's pop the hood for a second and take a look at the engine that's powering this whole revolution. What's the secret sauce? What's the fundamental design that makes it all possible?
Well, the big breakthrough really happened back in 2017. It was a paper that introduced what's called the transformer architecture. And its key innovation was something called attention mechanisms. You see, before this, models really struggled with long sentences. They'd kind of lose track of the beginning by the time they got to the end. Attention lets the model look at the entire sentence at once and figure out which words are most important to which other words. It was a total game changer.
So with this architecture, the model just performs its core task over and over again in a constant loop. It looks at the text it has so far, then it calculates the probability for every single word it knows. And finally, it just picks the most likely one to come next. It tacks that word onto the end and starts the whole process over. That's how it generates text, one single token at a time.
Okay, now here's where the scale just becomes mind-boggling. We're talking about the biggest models having over 1 trillion parameters. Think of parameters as the knobs and dials where all the model's knowledge gets stored. When you get to that massive scale, something truly fascinating happens. You get what are called emergent capabilities. The models just start doing things they were never explicitly trained to do. Things like solving logic puzzles or writing working code. And all of this comes just from being really, really good at predicting the next word.
And this is not just some academic theory anymore, not by a long shot. What started out in research labs is now a production tool. It's being plugged into tech stacks all over the world. So that brings us to the practical side of things, right?
So the real question is, what does all this mean for you? If you're an IT professional, building and maintaining systems, how does this revolution actually show up in your day-to-day work? Oh, the applications are already everywhere. You see them in the intelligent chatbots that handle customer service. They're in the AI assistants inside your code editor, finishing your sentences for you. They're in the tools that can take a 100-page report and spit out a summary in seconds. And they're even in natural language interfaces that let you literally talk to complex databases and systems.
But this is where the story takes a pretty sharp turn. Because for all of that incredible promise, these models bring an equal, if not greater, amount of complexity. And this right here, this is the central challenge that we're going to be exploring for the rest of this entire series.
It's this duality that's the real issue. On one side of the scale, you have the amazing promise, these emergent capabilities, multi-step reasoning, this incredible ability to adapt. But on the other side, you've got the complexity, failure modes that are completely unpredictable, brand new security vulnerabilities, and some really serious questions about whether these things are reliable enough for production.
The report that this is all based on, it puts it perfectly. The quote is, The promise of language models is matched only by their complexity and the challenges they present. That one sentence, that's basically the theme for our entire series. The power and the problems are just two sides of the exact same coin. So, if there's one thing to really take away from this, it's this. These things are not magic black boxes. They are intricate, complicated statistical machines. And just like any machine, they can break, they have failure points. The big difference here is that their fragilities are fundamental to their very design, which makes them incredibly tricky to patch up. And that leaves us with the big question that we're going to carry into our next module. So, where does this fragility actually come from? What is it about their design that makes them so powerful, but at the same time, so incredibly brittle? Well, that is exactly what we are going to start unpacking next time.